Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're embarking on, well, a really fascinating exploration.
Uh-huh.
It's about that enduring human quest for what you might call hidden knowledge. That timeless search for the secret to success, wealth, and really profound personal development.
It's a constant theme, isn't it, throughout history?
Absolutely. If
Yeah.
you think about it, countless ancient texts, forgotten manuscripts, they've all claimed to hold that kind of transformative power.
Right.
And our subject today is one such legendary text that has, I think, truly earned its place in that lineage, the Master Key System by Charles F. Haanel.
And it's a text with just an incredible story behind it. Originally penned by Haanel way back in 1912, then published as a complete work in 1916 by Psychology Publishing and the Master Key Institute.
Yeah.
This book was, well, quite simply a phenomenon of its time. It wasn't just a collection of, abstract theories. It was presented as a really practical, actionable guide. Its impact was so immediate, so profound, that it famously skyrocketed Charles F. Haanel himself to widespread fame and, to a considerable fortune, too.
Wow.
As a successful businessman, a prolific author, and even a personal mentor to some of the most influential and successful figures of that era.
That's a really interesting point you make about it being more than just a book. It wasn't designed for, a single casual read-through.
Not at all.
Imagine this. It was meticulously structured as a 24-lesson correspondence course, designed specifically for week-by-week study.
Right, you had to engage with it over time.
Exactly. Each lesson came with specific exercises, apparently painstakingly crafted to train and develop these essential mind skills like concentration, visualization, focused thought, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It truly was an intentional, structured system, built to be internalized step by step, aiming to cultivate a level of mental mastery where supposedly you could manifest your desires with, astonishing precision and speed.
What's really intriguing, though, is its curious disappearance. Yeah, from the public eye. Around 1933, despite its immense popularity, it just seemed to vanish.
That's strange for something so popular.
It is. You don't often hear of a book that's earned the nickname Millionaire Maker simply fading away, but fade it did, only to make this incredible, almost mythic reemergence decades later, particularly in Silicon Valley, interestingly enough.
Silicon Valley, really?
Yeah, where it once again began to be hailed as a millionaire maker for a whole new generation of innovators and entrepreneurs.
And the legend that surrounds its resurgence. Well, it's almost too good not to share. It suggests that a certain Bill Gates supposedly stumbled upon this very book when he was just a Harvard student.
Right, that's the famous story.
The story goes that he then went on to create history with Microsoft. Now, whether that particular anecdote is precisely verifiable or, more a part of the book's enduring mystique.
It certainly adds to the allure, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Rhonda Byrne, for instance, the visionary creator behind the global phenomenon, The Secret, she actually highlights the Master Key System as another landmark text in success literature. She places it firmly in the same era, same philosophical lineage, as Wallace Wattles' equally extraordinary manuscript, The Science of Getting Rich.
Yeah, they're often mentioned together, two powerhouses from that time.
It truly stands shoulder to shoulder with these powerful transformative works that really reshape thinking about success and abundance in the early 20th century.
Indeed. And our mission today really is to take a deep dive into this remarkable system. We're going to try and meticulously document not only the precise methods Haanel outlines for personal transformation, but also the underlying principles he lays out as the science behind these methods, the very mechanisms that he believed propelled himself and, countless others, to extraordinary levels of achievement and success.
Exactly. Because the central promise here, if you truly internalize and apply the wisdom in this remarkable book, is that you too will learn the secret. Not just the secret, but the fundamental secret. The secret of thought as creative energy, as an undeniable power, and ultimately as the master key to your own boundless development.
That's the claim.
Haanel claims it does nothing less than virtually open the door to cosmic intelligence, allowing you to attract everything you need to achieve your wildest dreams.
It's a big promise.
It is. In Haanel's own powerful words, what you can achieve are results hitherto undreamed of, and rewards hardly to be expressed in words.
Wow.
So for you, our listener, this deep dive is hopefully a shortcut, a distillation of the profound principles and practical applications within this seemingly simple yet incredibly powerful text. Okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
So let's begin with Hanel's foundational idea. It fundamentally reorients our understanding of, well, how life works and where our power really lies. He starts by observing a universal truth about human existence. He says, nature compels us all to move through life. We could not remain stationary however much we wish.
Right, it's inherent.
This isn't just about physical motion, is it? It's about an inherent, unyielding drive within every living thing, a natural impulse towards growth and unfolding.
That's right. He then expands on this, explaining that every right-thinking person doesn't merely want to drift through life, like some sort of sound-producing, perambulating plant, as he somewhat wryly puts it.
He really said that.
He did.
Yeah.
Instead, he argues, we possess this deep-seated desire to continually develop, to improve, and to keep growing mentally and spiritually right up to the very close of our physical lives. And this continuous, purposeful development, he argues, occurs only through the improvement of the quality of individual thought and the ideals, actions, and conditions that arise as a consequence.
So it all comes back to thought.
According to Haanel, yes.
Huh.
It really makes you pause and consider just how central our thinking is, doesn't it? If our progress hinges entirely on our thoughts, then the quality of that thinking becomes paramount.
Absolutely, and that's precisely where Haanel zeroes in. He's not just talking about surface-level positive thinking, is he? It feels deeper than that.
Oh, much deeper. He's unveiling a deeper, almost cosmic truth about the nature of our internal world. He introduces his central concept by stating, there is a world within a world of thought and feeling and power, of light and life and beauty, and although invisible, its forces are mighty.
Okay, the world within.
Now, here's the truly crucial part, the core of his philosophy. The world without is a reflection of the world within. What appears without is what has been found within.
Wow. So like a mirror.
Exactly like a mirror. He suggests this internal world isn't just a personal space. It contains infinite wisdom, infinite power, and an infinite supply of all that is necessary, waiting for unfoldment, development, and expression.
Infinite supply within.
Within. The remarkable assertion, then, is that if we truly recognize and activate these immense potentialities in the world within, they will inevitably take tangible form in the world without.
So what we cultivate inside shows up outside.
That's the core idea.
And this leads directly to his assertion about thought itself, which he sees as, the primal creative force.
Precisely. He observes that everything and institution we see around us, created by human agency, had first to exist as a thought in some human mind. Thought, therefore, is constructive.
Makes sense. Everything starts as an idea.
Right. It's not just an abstract concept or a passive mental process. He views human thought as nothing less than the spiritual power of the cosmos operating through its creature man.
The spiritual power of the cosmos. That's a big statement.
It is. What's truly revolutionary here is that Haanel isn't just saying, think positively. He's positing that your thoughts are literally the prime movers of reality, the very first step in anything ever created by humans.
Okay.
This means your mental landscape isn't just personal, it's the raw material of the world around you. So if you want to build something new, it starts not with physical action, but with a crystal clear thought blueprint.
So the master key itself is essentially like a user manual for this cosmic power you're talking about.
That's a great way to put it. It teaches you precisely how to use that inherent spiritual power and how to wield it both constructively and creatively. It's fundamentally about building your desired reality from the inside out.
Right.
The core mechanism is simple in concept, but pretty profound in application. The things and conditions we desire to become realities, we must first create in thought.
Create them in thought first.
First. He goes on to explain this energetic process, stating that mind is static energy, thought is dynamic energy, the two phases of the same thing.
Static mind, dynamic thought.
Thought is therefore the vibratory force formed by converting static mind into dynamic mind.
So like potential energy and kinetic energy.
Kind of. Think of it this way. Your mind holds potential energy, like a charged battery, and your thoughts are the current, the dynamic energy that brings that potential to life. Haanel sees thought as a vibratory force, literally converting that stored mental energy into something tangible.
So thinking isn't passive, it's active creation.
It's an active, energetic process that constructs reality, according to him.
Okay, so the critical shift in perspective Haanel challenges us with is, it seems profoundly different from how most people operate instinctively.
It really is. He astutely observes that most men try to change effects by working with effects.
Right, dealing with the symptoms.
Exactly. They fail to see that this is simply changing one form of distress for another. Think about how often we try to fix external problems, a difficult relationship, financial struggle, a frustrating job, by directly manipulating the external circumstances.
Yeah, shuffling deck chairs on the Titanic kind of thing.
Precisely, often leading to a new set of problems rather than a true resolution. It's like trying to fix a leaky faucet by just constantly mopping up the water instead of tightening the pipe. We've all done that, haven't we? Just dealing with the symptoms.
Guilty as charged. And the master key's radical yet deceptively simple solution to this perennial human dilemma, what is it?
Simply this. To remove discord, we must remove the cause, and this cause can be found only in the world within.
Only within.
Only within. He emphasizes this principle by pointing out that all growth is from within. We see this everywhere in nature, from a magnificent tree emerging from a tiny seed to animals developing from a single embryo, right up to complex human beings.
Sure.
The error of the ages, as he calls it, is in looking for strength or power from without, when the true wellspring of creation and change resides within.
It's a complete flip of our usual outward-looking focus, isn't it?
A total inversion.
Ultimately, Haanel promises that when you achieve harmony in the world within, it will be reflected in the world without by harmonious conditions, agreeable surroundings, the best of everything.
So inner harmony equals outer harmony.
That's the equation. He asserts this inner harmony is not just a pleasant state, but the foundation of health and a necessary essential to all greatness, all power, all attainment, all achievement, and all success.
Wow, he connects inner peace directly to outer prosperity and well-being. Everything stems from it.
Seems so. So what does this all mean for you, our listener? Well, it means unlocking a completely new level of self-mastery and agency in your life. Harmony within, for Haanel, specifically, means the ability to control our thoughts and to determine for ourselves how any experience is to affect us.
Taking charge internally.
Exactly. It's about taking active charge of your internal landscape, understanding that whatever you cultivate mentally will inevitably, unerringly, manifest outwardly. It's truly a profound statement of personal power.
Okay, so we've established this incredible power of thought and this mirror-like relationship between our inner and outer worlds. But where does the real engine of creation reside within us beyond just our conscious everyday thinking? Haanel dives deeper, doesn't he?
He does. He doesn't stop at the surface. He dives deep into what he calls our inner powerhouse, the subconscious mind, the true architect behind the scenes.
The hidden 90%.
Right. He highlights its immense, often untapped potential, estimating that at least 90% of our mental life is subconscious, so that those who fail to make use of this mental power live within very narrow limits.
It's a staggering figure. To truly illustrate the vastness and hidden power of this subconscious realm, he quotes Professor Davidson, who says, "He who thinks to illuminate the whole range of mental action by the light of his own consciousness is not unlike the one who should go about to illuminate the universe with a rushlight."
A rushlight. Like a tiny candle.
Exactly. It's such a powerful analogy, isn't it? It emphasizes just how little of our true mental capacity we typically access through conscious effort alone.
Yeah.
The value of the subconscious, Haanel explains, is enormous. It inspires us with sudden insights, warns us of impending issues, and furnishes us with names, facts, and scenes from the deepest storehouse of memory, often retrieving information far faster than our slow conscious reasoning processes ever could.
And a truly surprising, almost awe-inspiring fact about this inner powerhouse. You mentioned it before. The subconscious mind never sleeps, never rests, any more than does your heart or your blood.
Think about that. It's always working, always on, a tirelessly operating engine, even when you're completely unaware.
So the key, then, is not to face it, but to learn the subtle art of directing this inner worker.
That seems to be it. Haanel found that by plainly stating to the subconscious mind certain specific things to be accomplished, forces are set in operation that lead to the result desired. It's like setting a sophisticated internal GPS.
You have clear directions.
Exactly. He provides several compelling illustrative examples of this in action. For instance, those who consistently apply this principle find that when they go out to meet someone with whom they anticipate a difficult interview, something has been there before them and dissolved the supposed differences. Everything is changed, all is harmonious, as if an invisible hand smoothed the way.
Wow, like sending a scout ahead?
Kind of. Or when facing a complex business problem that seems insurmountable consciously, Something suggests the proper solution from within, often a brilliant insight that appears out of nowhere.
That moment.
That's it. The profound result for those who truly learn to trust this inner intelligence is that they have infinite resources at their command, a vast unseen network of support and solutions.
The subconscious mind also plays a critical, perhaps even foundational role in habit formation, both the good ones and the ones that hold us back, right?
Absolutely central. Haanel states that the subconscious mind is the seat of habit. That which we do over and over becomes mechanical. It is no longer an act of judgment, but has worn its deep grooves in the subconscious mind.
Okay, so that explains why habits are so automatic.
Exactly. It frees up our conscious mind, but also makes negative patterns incredibly difficult to break because they're etched so deeply.
So what's the remedy for the bad habits? Is it just willpower?
Interestingly, no. Not brute force willpower, which Haanel cautions against. Instead, it's about a profound internal alignment. You must recognize the omnipotence of the subconscious mind and suggest present actual freedom.
Suggest freedom.
Yes, the subconscious, being creative and one with our divine source, will at once create the freedom suggested. This means it's less about fighting a bad habit and more about actively implanting a new desired reality, the reality of being free from the habit into your deeper mind, trusting its creative power to bring it into being.
So you're reprogramming it, essentially.
That's a good way to think about it.
And it's not just about a personal isolated power, is it? He connects it to something bigger.
He does. Haanel clarifies that the subconscious is a part of the universal mind, and a part must be the same in kind and quality as the whole. The only difference is one of degree.
Like a drop of water in the ocean.
Exactly that analogy. It contains all the qualities of the ocean, just on a smaller scale. Since the whole, the universal mind, which you could understand as a collective consciousness or an infinite field of potential, is inherently creative. This means this creative power is absolutely unlimited. It is not bound by precedent of any kind. It can create anything, unbound by past limitations.
Wow. Unlimited creative power, accessible to the subconscious.
Ultimately, Haanel states, the unlimited creative power of the universal mind is within control of the conscious mind of the individual.
Within our control.
That's his assertion. What's truly fascinating here is how profoundly this shifts the locus of control for every single one of us. It moves from external forces or random chance to an incredible, almost godlike internal capacity, suggesting that our conscious thoughts, when properly directed, have direct access to and command over an infinite creative power. It's an empowering, if maybe a little daunting, realization about our inherent abilities.
So, if our thoughts are shaping reality, and the subconscious is this incredible limitless engine, how does this energy physically manifest or get distributed within us? He talks about the solar plexus, right? He calls it the sun of the body.
He does. It's a powerful image. He doesn't just see it as a collection of nerves. He sees it as a central point of distribution for the energy which the body is constantly generating, like a central energetic powerhouse within us, constantly radiating life.
Okay. And how does he explain that connection?
Well, Haanel delves into the body's wiring. He details its physical connection, explaining that the cerebrospinal system is the organ of the conscious, handling our deliberate thoughts and actions.
Right.
Meanwhile, the sympathetic system of nerves presides over all subjective sensations, which are linked to our subconscious processes and automatic functions.
Got it.
The vagus nerve, he explains, forms a crucial connecting link between the two, making man physically a single entity.
So they're linked.
Intricately linked. What he's really driving at is that your mental and physical systems aren't separate, they're connected, and your thoughts are the ultimate conductor, influencing not just your mind, but your very physical being.
It sounds a bit like early mind-body medicine.
Very much so. This is essentially Haanel's early 20th century take on psychoneuroimmunology, showing how your thoughts directly influence your body's energy and health.
And that connection leads to the crucial insight. Conscious thought, then, is master of this sun center from which the life and energy of the entire body flows. Is that right?
That's exactly it. He elaborates that the quality of the thought which we entertain determines the quality of the thought which the sun will radiate, and the nature of the experience which will result.
So thoughts direct the body's energy and influence external experience.
According to Haanel, yes. Your thoughts aren't just abstract ideas floating in your head. They're literally directing the energy flow of your body and, by extension, profoundly influencing your external experiences and circumstances. Your emotional state isn't just a feeling. It's a direct command to your internal energy distribution system.
Master your thoughts, master your energy.
That's the idea.
And when we look at the dynamics of this energy flow within the solar plexus, how does he describe that?
He explains it in very practical terms. Non-resistant thought expands the solar plexus. Resistant thought contracts it.
Okay, resistance contracts.
Similarly, pleasant thought expands it. Unpleasant thought contracts it. Thoughts of courage, power, confidence, and hope all produce a corresponding positive state of expansion, making the body receptive, vital, energetic.
And negative thoughts constrict it.
Right. They shut down the flow.
But there's an arch enemy he talks about, right? Something that really blocks this flow.
Yes, a primary blocker. The one arch enemy of the solar plexus, which must be absolutely destroyed before there is any possibility of letting any light shine, is fear.
Fear, the big one.
The big one. He describes fear as a pervasive personal devil that makes men fear the past, the present, and the future, fear themselves, their friends, and their enemies, fear everything and everybody. It's an almost universal affliction that keeps our internal sun from shining brightly.
So what's the antidote?
The liberating truth he offers is that when fear is effectually and completely destroyed, your light will shine, the cloud will disperse, and you will have found the source of power, energy, and life.
Destroy fear. Find power.
Basically, he gives a powerful, almost vivid, illustrative example. The man who knows that he has a solar plexus will not fear criticism or anything else. He will be too busy radiating courage, confidence, and power. He will anticipate success by his mental attitude. He will pound barriers to pieces and leap over the chasm of doubt and hesitation which fear places in his path. It's a call to proactive mental and emotional mastery.
So what are the consequences of not mastering this fear? Of letting it interrupt this energy radiation?
They're significant and far-reaching, according to Haanel. He explains the manifestation of disruption. If there is any interruption of this radiation, the sensations are unpleasant, the flow of life and energy to some part of the body is stopped, and this is the cause of every ill to the human race, physical, mental, or environmental.
Every ill. Physical, mental, and environmental.
That's what he claims. This means that if the solar plexus isn't functioning optimally, it could manifest as physical issues because the sun of the body is no longer generating sufficient energy to vitalize some part of the body.
Okay, lack of energy flow.
It could be mental issues because the conscious mind is dependent upon the subconscious mind for the vitality necessary to support its thought.
Right, the connection's weak.
And it could be environmental issues, meaning external challenges or lack, because the connection between the subconscious mind and the universal mind is being interrupted.
Wow. So fear can actually sever our connection to that universal source.
That's the implication. Here's where it gets really interesting. Haanel is positing that your inner state, specifically how you manage fear and other negative emotions, impacts not just your personal well-being, but your very connection to the larger cosmic intelligence itself, affecting your ability to manifest in the world.
That's huge. Okay, now let's tie all this together into what Haanel considers the ultimate reality, the fundamental mechanism of manifestation, thought as creative energy. This is the law of attraction part.
Exactly, the heart of it. He reinforces the fundamental principle. Thought is energy and energy is power.
Simple enough.
But he doesn't start there. He elaborates that thought is spiritual energy and is carried by the law of vibration the same as light or electricity.
Vibration.
Its vitality, he says, is given vitality by the emotions through the law of love.
Emotion fuels it.
Yeah.
Specifically love.
Seems so. And finally, it takes form and expression by the law of growth.
So thought vibrates, emotion energizes it, and then it grows into form.
That's the sequence he lays out. A precise progression from intangible to tangible. It's like a seed that needs fertile soil, emotion, to germinate and then grow into a physical plant.
This leads directly to what he calls the immutable law of cause and effect, doesn't it?
It does. He states that you may freely choose what you think, but the result of your thought is governed by an immutable law.
Free choice in thought, but fixed results.
Right. Any line of thought persisted in cannot fail to produce its result in the character, health, and circumstances of the individual. He beautifully quotes James Allen, the author of As a Man Thinketh.
Oh yeah, great book.
Who stated that cause and effect is as absolute and undeviating in the hidden realm of thought as in the world of visible and material things. Mind is the master weaver, both of the interior garment of character and the outer garment of circumstance.
Mind is the master weaver.
I like that.
So our thoughts are literally weaving our life.
That's the profound declaration. The consequence of this is, well, it demands personal responsibility. Every thought, therefore, is a cause, and every condition an effect.
Cause and effect. No escaping it.
Which makes it absolutely essential that you control your thoughts so as to bring forth only desirable conditions. It's a direct, uncompromising call to conscious thought management.
Implying that every single aspect of your current reality, your character, your health, your circumstances, is a direct result of your past and present thought patterns.
That's the logical conclusion of his premise, yes.
And how do these thoughts precisely manifest into the physical world? Through the law of attraction, where like attracts like.
That's the mechanism. Haanel states that this law will certainly and unerringly bring to you the conditions, environment, and experiences in life corresponding with your habitual, characteristic, predominant mental attitude.
Okay, key words there. Habitual, characteristic, predominant.
Exactly. He clarifies what truly counts, moving beyond superficial positive thinking. Not what you think once in a while when you were in church or have just read a good book, but your predominant mental attitude is what counts.
It's about the consistent underlying mental current, not just fleeting thoughts.
Right. The overall tone of your mind.
And he identifies the combination for irresistible force as
thought and love. This powerful combination, he states, forms the law of attraction, which he insists operates with mathematical exactitude. There is no variation.
Mathematical exactitude, wow.
Any perceived failure in its application, he argues, isn't the law's fault, but due to the channel of distribution, which may be imperfect, or an inexperienced or uninformed person who simply hasn't mastered its nuances.
So user error, basically.
That's his perspective. The law itself, he maintains, is flawless and ever operating. It's like gravity. It works, whether you understand it or not, whether you believe in it or not.
To bring in a scientific angle, which must have been important then, he connects this thought energy idea to the universal substance, right? Using physics.
He does. He cites modern physical science, which even back then had resolved matter into molecules, molecules into atoms, atoms into energy. Pretty standard stuff. Then he brings in the renowned electrical engineer, Sir Ambrose Fleming, who goes a step further, suggesting that at its most fundamental level, this energy can be resolved into mind.
Energy resolved into mind.
Yeah. Fleming is quoted saying, "In its ultimate essence, energy may be incomprehensible by us except as an exhibition of the direct operation of that which we call mind or will."
So the ultimate essence of energy is mind or will.
That's Fleming's idea, which Haanel leverages. This suggests a universe fundamentally rooted in intelligence, far beyond mere random chance. Haanel points out that electrons, the very fundamental building blocks of all matter, fill all space, that they exist everywhere, that they are omnipresent. They are, as he puts it, pure negative electricity.
Okay.
The critical piece, then, is that these ubiquitous electrons would forever remain electrons unless directed where to go to be assembled into atoms and molecules.
Something has to organize them.
Exactly. And this director, he asserts, is mind.
Mind directs electrons into matter.
That's the picture he paints. So the universe itself, in Haanel's view, is a manifestation of intelligently directed thought. It's not just a philosophical concept. It's presented as the ultimate scientific reality.
Which means your directed thoughts are participating in the very fabric of universal creation.
That's the profound implication.
Okay, moving from these big principles to practical application. Haanel emphasizes imagination and visualization, doesn't he, as tools for blueprinting reality?
Absolutely essential tools in his system. He states unequivocally that visualization is the process of making mental images, and the image is the mold or model which will serve as a pattern from which your future will emerge.
The image is the mold, like a blueprint.
Precisely. This isn't just daydreaming, it's active creation.
And he urges you, the listener, to embrace this power without limitation, right?
Yes, strongly. Make the pattern clear and make it beautiful. Do not be afraid. Make it grand. Remember that no limitation can be placed upon you by anyone but yourself.
Only self-imposed limits.
That's the message. The instruction is clear and empowering. You are not limited by cost, material, or perceived obstacles in this mental construction. You're to draw on the infinite for your supply. Construct it in your imagination. It will have to be there before it will ever appear anywhere else.
Create it mentally first. Then it appears physically.
That's the order.
He outlines 3 crucial steps for this, doesn't he? Idealization, visualization,
and materialization. Yes. First, idealization. This is arguably the most important foundational step because it is the plan on which you are going to build. It must be solid. It must be permanent.
like an architect's plan.
Exactly. He compares it to detailed plans. You wouldn't start building a skyscraper without a precise blueprint, right? You were to picture in your mind what you want. You are sowing the seed, but before sowing any seed, you want to know what the harvest is to be.
Know what you're aiming for.
Right. This initial mental picture might start dim, even fuzzy, but with consistent focus, it will gradually unfold into vivid clarity.
Okay, so that's idealization. Then comes visualization.
Yes. This is the active, dynamic process of taking that initial ideal and seeing the picture more and more complete. See the detail, filling it in. As these details emerge in your mind's eye, Haanel explains that the ways and means or bringing it into manifestation will develop. One thing truly will lead to another.
How so?
He says, thought will lead to action, action will develop methods, methods will develop friends, and friends will bring about circumstances. It's a chain reaction set off by persistent mental focus.
Thought leads to action, action to methods, methods to friends, friends to circumstances. Interesting chain.
It is. It shows how internal focus can ripple outwards.
Right, and finally, materialization.
The payoff.
The inevitable outcome, as he sees it, where the ideal you've consistently held and refined in your mind transforms into objective reality. It's the natural combination of the first two steps, not a sudden miracle, but the result of a precise, energetic process.
And he uses Nikola Tesla as an example, right?
Yeah.
A fantastic example. To truly illustrate this incredible power, Haanel offers this concrete and often cited anecdote from the life of Nikola Tesla, whom he hails as one of the greatest inventors of all ages.
What was Tesla's method?
Well, as Haanel describes it, it was truly remarkable and aligns perfectly with these principles. Tesla famously always visualizes his inventions before attempting to work them out.
He built it in his head first. Completely.
Completely. He didn't rush to build physical prototypes and then painstakingly correct defects through trial and error. Instead, he first built up the idea in his imagination. He held it there as a mental picture to be reconstructed and improved by his thought.
Wow. And the result?
Astonishing. Tesla himself wrote, "In this way, I am enabled to rapidly develop and perfect a conception without touching anything."
Without touching anything.
When I have gone so far as to embody in the invention every possible improvement I can think of and see no fault anywhere, I put into concrete the product of my brain. Invariably, my device works as I conceived it should. In 20 years, there has not been a single exception.
20 years, no exceptions. That's unbelievable.
It demonstrates the immense, almost unbelievable power of sustained mental work, creating a perfect blueprint before any physical effort is even expended.
And Haanel connects this ability to our actual brain cells.
He does, in an astonishing way. He gives us this almost literal insight into how this is possible on a physical level within our own brains. You have over 5 million of these mental workers, ready and in active use. They are called brain cells.
5 million active workers.
And even more, he says there's another reserve force of at least an equal number, ready to be called into action at the slightest need.
So like 10 million potential workers.
Potentially.
Wow.
The implication here is massive. Your power to think, then, is almost unlimited, and this means that your power to create the kind of material which is necessary to build for yourself any kind of environment which you desire is practically unlimited.
Wow.
These mental workers, your brain cells, are not just inert matter. They are endowed with sufficient intelligence to understand and act upon any message or suggestion given.
Intelligent cells acting on suggestion.
That's his view. It's like having an army of intelligent, creative forces constantly at your command, waiting for your clear instruction, ready to manifest your mental blueprints.
Now, none of this profound manifestation or self-mastery is truly possible without cultivating a very specific and indispensable mental skill. Concentration. He really emphasizes this, doesn't he?
Absolutely paramount. For Haanel, it's probably the most important essential in the development of mind culture. He states it is the distinguishing characteristic of every successful man or woman and is the very highest personal accomplishment which can be acquired.
The highest personal accomplishment. Strong words.
Indeed, it's the bedrock upon which all other mental powers are built.
How does he explain its power?
He provides a vivid and highly effective analogy comparing attention or concentration to a magnifying glass in which the rays of sunlight are focused.
Okay, I can picture that.
He explains that scattered rays have no strength, they simply warm the surface. But focused rays, concentrated through the lens, produce intense heat or even fire.
Right. So with the power of thought, let power be dissipated by scattering the thought from one object to another, and no result is apparent. But focus this power through attention or concentration on any one object, and you will soon become conscious of the power which you have focused.
Focus creates power. Makes sense.
It's about harnessing and directing your mental energy, making it a potent force.
But true concentration, Haanel says, isn't about straining or effort, is it? That's a common mistake.
Exactly. He challenges common notions by pointing to an actor's greatness. The greatness of an actor lies in the fact that he forgets himself in the portrayal of his character, becoming so identified with it that the audience is swayed by the realism of the performance.
So it's about absorption, not effort.
Precisely. It's not that the actor is trying hard to concentrate. They are simply absorbed, lost in the role.
The ideal state, then, is to be
so interested in your thought, so engrossed in your subject as to be conscious of nothing else. This deep, effortless engagement, Haanel argues, leads not to mental strain, but to intuitive perception and immediate insight. That's where the breakthroughs happen.
Exactly. The cultivation process is simply a matter of practice. Practice makes perfect. In this, as in anything else, it's a skill, not a mystical gift, and it improves with consistent application.
Beyond concentration, there's another profound, maybe counterintuitive necessity he talks about: the silence. What does he mean by that?
It's a crucial concept. He states, power comes through repose. It is in the silence that we can be still, and when we are still, we can think, and thought is the secret of all attainment.
Power through repose. Stillness allows thought.
Right. This isn't just about external quiet, is it? It's about cultivating an inner stillness.
An inner silence.
Exactly. He explains its profound purpose. It's the condition required for all great purposes. Here, in this state of deep repose and inner stillness, you get into touch with the omnipotent power of the subconscious mind from which all power is evolved.
Connecting with the subconscious in the silence.
It's like finding the deep, calm center within yourself from which all creative energy can flow. Ultimately, he claims, only in absolute silence may one come into contact with divinity itself, may learn of the unchangeable law, and open for himself the channels by which persistent practice and concentration lead to perfection.
Wow, contact with divinity itself. That's profound.
It is. It's the ultimate gateway, in his view, to inner wisdom and connection to universal intelligence.
So how do you practically apply this? How do you cultivate this inner power, this state of silence? He gives steps, right?
He does. Clear, actionable steps. First, choose a room where you can be alone and undisturbed. Then, sit erect comfortably but do not lounge.
Posture matters.
Seems so. For mental alertness without tension, the initial step. Let your thoughts roam where they will, but be perfectly still from 15 minutes to half an hour.
Just sit still, let thoughts pass.
Right. This helps you gain full control of your physical being simply by observing your body without reacting.
Okay, physical stillness first. What's next?
The next, more challenging but incredibly rewarding step is to progress to inhibit all thought.
Stop thinking altogether. That sounds impossible.
He acknowledges it will be incredibly difficult at first, perhaps only possible for a few moments. But the very exercise, he says, reveals the great number of thoughts which are constantly trying to gain access to your mental world.
Makes you aware of the mental chatter.
Exactly. Mastering this ability, even briefly, will give you control over all thoughts of care, worry, and fear, and will enable you to entertain only the kind of thoughts you desire. It's about building a mental filter.
And relaxation is key too.
Absolutely key. Relax. Let go. Let the muscles take their freedom. Mentally determine that you will relax every muscle and nerve until you feel quiet and restful and at peace with yourself and the world.
Conscious relaxation.
Yes. This deep, conscious relaxation, he states, is what prepares the solar plexus to function optimally, expanding it and allowing energy to flow freely. He also recommends regularly using specific visualization exercises, such as visualizing detailed scenes of desired outcomes or even friends in familiar places, not just to manifest, but to train and strengthen the mind's eye for greater control and clarity. Practice makes perfect.
Right. Okay, continuing our exploration into the master key system, Haanel emphasizes the paramount importance of discovering the true self. He calls it the I, right?
Yes, the I. He explains a distinct and crucial difference between your fleeting personality and this deeper, unchanging self.
How does he define that difference?
He says, your personality is made up of countless individual characteristics, peculiarities, habits, and traits of character. These are the result of your former method of thinking, but they have nothing to do with the real I.
So personality is learned, a construct.
Essentially, yes, while your I is your core essence.
And realizing this I brings power.
A profound sense of power. The realization he guides you toward is that when you come into a realization of the true nature of this I, you will enjoy a sense of power which you have never before known.
What is the nature of this I?
He defines it as inherently spiritual, and therefore it can never be less than perfect.
Never less than perfect.
That's his view. It is an integral part of the great whole, meaning the universal mind, and is the same in substance, in quality, in kind.
Part of the whole.
This profound connection leads to the powerful, almost mystical realization: the Father and I are one, a deep unity with the source of all power and intelligence.
So realizing you're connected to and part of this perfect source gives you power.
Exactly. This recognition is not just theoretical, it's designed to bring an unprecedented sense of inner strength and capability.
This understanding of your true I then empowers you to use affirmations effectively as tools for transformation.
Incredibly potent tools, yes. He offers specific, powerful affirmations. One of the simplest yet most effective from Part 4 is, I can be what I will to be.
I can be what I will to be. Simple.
Powerful. Its purpose is explicitly stated for strengthening the will and realizing your power to accomplish. But he stresses the absolute need for consistency. Use it continuously, night and morning, and as often during the day as you think of it, and continue to do so until it becomes a part of you. Form the habit.
Consistency is key.
Crucial. He issues a stark warning. If you start such an affirmation and don't complete it, you're not just wasting time, you're forming a habit of failure and undermining your own mental power.
Wow, serious stuff.
The idea is to etch it into your subconscious.
What's another affirmation he gives?
A very powerful one from Part 9 is, I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy.
That covers a lot of ground.
It does. He shares a compelling personal testimony from a man named Frederick Elias Andrews, who used this very affirmation to overcome a severe physical handicap. Andrews even reported finding himself repeating it spontaneously in his sleep.
In his sleep.
Yeah, a testament to how deeply it had been impressed upon his subconscious mind, leading to his healing. This illustrates the deep, transformative impact of such consistent, positive mental impression, shifting your very identity at a fundamental level.
There's also something about affirming for others, isn't there? A principle of reciprocity.
Yes, absolutely. This goes beyond just personal gain, Haanel states. Whatever you desire for yourself, affirm it for others, and it will help you both. We reap what we sow.
Give and you shall receive, kind of.
Pretty much. He uses the analogy of bread cast upon the waters returning to you. Sending out thoughts of love and health to others, he argues, sets up a reciprocal flow of energy that inevitably returns to you, amplifying the very qualities you are affirming.
That's a beautiful idea. A universal law of exchange.
Indeed. This directly connects to the power of the I and our thought processes to life's ultimate outcomes. Haanel asserts with profound conviction that to control thought is to control circumstances, conditions, environment, and destiny.
Control thought, control destiny.
He emphasizes that man is the sum total of his own thoughts, leading to a radical shift from being a football of fate tossed about by external circumstances to actively controlling one's experience and charting one's own destiny. This is the ultimate self-mastery.
But importantly, he draws a sharp distinction between this kind of conscious creation and just using willpower, right? He warns against that.
Yes, a critical distinction. He cautions against a common misuse of mental energy, noting that there are those who seem to think that by force of will they can coerce this law, that they can sow seed of one kind and by willpower make it bear fruit of another.
Trying to force things. I think many people try that.
It's a common pitfall. This, he explains, is an inverted conception, a fundamental misunderstanding of how the universe truly operates. It may appear to succeed for a while, but is eventually doomed to failure because it antagonizes the very power which it is seeking to use.
You end up fighting the current?
Exactly. It's the individual attempting to coerce the universal, a finite will in conflict with the infinite, a tiny ripple trying to control the ocean. The correct approach, he states, is that our permanent well-being will be best conserved by a conscious cooperation with the continuous forward movement of the great whole.
Cooperate with the flow, don't fight it.
Align your individual will with the universal creative flow.
Okay, shifting gears slightly. Let's explore how Haanel ties all these principles into the practical manifestation of desired conditions, particularly abundance and the crucial concept of service. He starts by challenging the scarcity mindset.
Directly, he states that abundance is a natural law of the universe. The evidence of this law is conclusive. We see it on every hand. Everywhere, nature is lavish, wasteful, extravagant. Nowhere is economy observed in any created thing.
Nature is abundant, millions of seeds, stars.
Yeah. Yet he acknowledges that many fail to participate in this abundance, and the fundamental reason, he asserts, is that they have not yet come into a realization of the universality of all substance, and that mind is the active principle whereby we are related to the things we desire.
So lack isn't external, it's an internal disconnect.
That's his point. It's not a matter of external shortage, but a lack of inner consciousness, a disconnect from the limitless supply. He also connects wealth to a deeper principle.
What's that?
All wealth is the offspring of power. Possessions are of value only as they confer power. It's not about owning things for their own sake, but for the agency and influence they provide.
Wealth equals power, essentially.
Or rather, wealth comes from power and confers power.
This leads to the idea that true success is contingent upon a higher ideal than the mere accumulation of riches. He warns about getting rich too soon.
He does. A stark warning that premature wealth is but the forerunner of humiliation and disaster, because we cannot permanently retain anything which we do not merit or which we have not earned.
You have to be ready for it, internally.
Right. It goes back to his emphasis on internal readiness and merit, rather than just external acquisition. It's about growing into the capacity to handle and retain what you attract.
So, to participate in this natural abundance, he talks about cultivating money consciousness. What does he mean by that? Is it just thinking about money?
Not exactly greed. He defines it as an attitude of mind. It is the open door to the arteries of commerce. It is the receptive attitude.
The receptive attitude. Openness.
Yes. He contrasts this sharply with poverty consciousness, which he equates directly with fear and lack. As the law is unchangeable, we get exactly what we give. If we fear, we get what we feared.
Fear attracts lack. Openness attracts abundance.
That's the dynamic he describes. Your mental attitude, your underlying consciousness, effectively dictates what you attract.
This brings us to what he calls the paramount principle of success. Service. The first law of success, then, is service. That sounds almost counterintuitive for wealth creation.
It can seem that way initially. He expands on this, explaining, we make money by making friends, and we enlarge our circle of friends by making money for them, by helping them, by being of service to them.
Make money by making money for others.
Yes, it's a powerful, almost paradoxical business model that puts contribution at its core.
He talks about giving and receiving too, right? Both ends open.
Crucial paradox. He states that our greatest success will come as we recognize that it is just as essential to give as to get. Both ends, he says, must remain open for the flow of abundance to continue.
Like a channel. Can't just take or just give.
Exactly. If you only take, the channel clogs. If you only give, it empties. He highlights the enduring example of great financiers like J.P. Morgan, John D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie.
The titans of industry.
Right. Noting they did not get rich because they lost money for other people. On the contrary, it is because they made money for other people that they became the wealthiest men in the wealthiest country on the globe.
Their wealth reflected the value they created.
Directly. Their key differentiator, according to Haanel, wasn't just brute force or cunning, but their superior thinking. He thinks he is seldom a man who lets anyone else do his thinking for him.
Original creative thought focused on providing value.
Exactly. Strategic thought that consistently benefits others and, in doing so, opens the channels for personal abundance.
He then beautifully connects the abstract to the concrete by asserting that spirituality is practical.
Very practical, he says. Spirituality is quite practical, very practical, intensely practical. It teaches that spirit is the real thing, the whole thing, and that matter is but plastic stuff, which spirit is able to create, mold, manipulate, and fashion to its will.
Spirit shapes matter. So spirituality isn't escaping reality, it's mastering it.
That's the idea. The soul of money, he declares, is service.
The soul of money is service.
What he means is that money isn't just paper or numbers. Its true essence, and how it flows to you, is fundamentally linked to how much value and assistance you provide to others. When you truly embrace that mindset of service, he argues, pathways for financial abundance will open up.
So spiritual methods are practical business methods.
That's his argument. This confirms that spiritual methods are entirely practical, which raises an important question. If this is all true, how can we deal with the unwanted conditions that inevitably arise in our lives, the ones we didn't consciously ask for?
Right. If our thoughts are so powerful, creating our reality, what about the bad stuff? Sickness, lack, Problems.
Yeah.
How do we address those negative, undesirable conditions?
Haanel tackles this directly. He explains that the ultimate root of all discord and disease is in our thinking, whether conscious or unconscious. He states that all distress, sickness, lack, limitation, and every form of discord and inharmony is admitted to our lives through wrong thinking.
Admitted through wrong thinking, so we let it in.
That's the implication. He gets quite specific, detailing that the various forms of inflammation, paralysis, nervousness, and disease conditions generally are the manifestation of fear, worry, care, anxiety, jealousy, hatred, and similar thought.
Specific negative thoughts lead to specific problems.
He emphasizes that this is due to the operation of exactly the same law, the law of cause and effect, which operates relentlessly and is continually bringing about conditions in correspondence with the thought which originated or created them.
The same law creates good and bad based on the thought.
Exactly. So if you're seeing negative effects, you must look to the thought that caused them.
So what's the immediate remedy? How do you fix it?
Through a process he calls thought substitution. It means thoughts of courage, power, inspiration, harmony are substituted for thoughts of failure, despair, lack, limitation, and discord.
Substitute the positive for the negative. Sounds simple, but is it easy?
Probably not easy, but he presents it as simple in concept. It's a profound, active mental discipline. Instead of fighting the old thought, you introduce its opposite and focus there.
And this substitution actually changes things physically.
That's the claim. As these positive, life-affirming thoughts take root and are consistently cultivated, a remarkable transformation occurs. The physical tissue is changed, and the individual sees life in a new light. Old things have actually passed away. All things have become new. He is born again.
Physical tissue changes.
Wow. He quotes Frederick Elias Andrews again, the man who healed himself.
Right.
Who put it simply yet profoundly. The way to fight darkness is with light. The way to fight cold is with heat. The way to overcome evils is with good. He goes on to say, affirm the good and the bad will vanish.
Don't fight the bad, affirm the good. Shift the energy.
Exactly. It's about shifting the energetic vibration, not battling the symptom.
This principle extends powerfully to what Haanel discusses as mental healing. He talks about the intelligence of cells.
Yes. Every single cell in our body, he explains the mechanism. It is through the law of vibration that the mind exercises this control over the body.
Mind controls body through vibration.
Right. Every single mental action, every thought is a vibration that affects every cell. Any given vibration immediately modifies every atom in the body, every life cell is affected, and an entire chemical change is made in every group of cells.
An immediate chemical change from a thought.
That's his astonishing assertion. He says, every cell in your body is intelligent and will respond to your direction. The cells are all creators and will create the exact pattern which you give them.
Intelligent, creative cells following our mental direction.
Thus, Haanel states, when perfect images are placed before the subjective, meaning the subconscious mind, the creative energies will build a perfect body.
Give the subconscious a perfect image, it builds a perfect body.
That's the principle. He points at a significant shift in medical thinking, even in his time, citing Dr. Albert T. Schofield, who noted that the subject of mental therapeutics is still ignored in medical works generally. The power of the mind over the body is seldom spoken of.
Even then, it was controversial or ignored.
But for Haanel, this intuitive and empirical knowledge of the mind's power over the body was self-evident and demonstrable.
This leads to the powerful, liberating realization that the problem isn't out there. It's internal.
Exactly. The world without is only an external reflection. He stresses, we shall always find the cause in the world within. By changing the cause, we change the effect.
Change the inner cause, change the outer effect. Applies to everything.
Everything, including physical health. If there's any physical condition which it is necessary to change, the law governing visualization will be found effective. Make a mental image of physical perfection, hold it in the mind until it is absorbed by the consciousness.
Visualize physical perfection until subconscious absorbs it.
That's the method. He also discusses the profound, though often misunderstood, power of denial. Or maybe withdrawal of attention is a better way to put it.
How does that work?
While not instant, the withdrawal of your thought from the contemplation of unsatisfactory conditions will gradually, but surely, terminate these conditions.
Stop focusing on the problem and it fades.
That's the idea. It's a stark contrast to how most people respond to problems, which is to concentrate intently upon unsatisfactory conditions, thereby giving the condition that measure of energy and vitality, which is necessary in order to supply a vigorous growth.
You literally feed the problem by focusing on it, starve it by withdrawing attention.
Precisely.
The profound truth Haanel arrives at then,
Yeah.
the ultimate declaration of personal responsibility, is what?
It's this. No matter what the difficulty is, no matter where it is, no matter who is affected, you have no patient but yourself. You have nothing to do but to convince yourself of the truth which you desire to see manifested.
You only have to convince yourself that change starts and ends within.
He's saying the ultimate point of leverage, the only place you can truly initiate change, is within your own mind. It's a profound shift from external blame or circumstance to absolute internal power.
So instead of fighting the symptom, you change the internal blueprint, and the external has to follow.
That's the core message. This often means facing uncomfortable truths about our own habitual thought patterns, doesn't it? Taking real responsibility.
It really does. Wow. What an incredible journey we've taken today, unpacking the timeless wisdom of the Master Key System by Charles F. Haanel. We've seen how he offers, well, a truly scientific and systematic approach to personal development and achieving extraordinary success.
We really delved into Haenel's core premise that the world within, your thoughts, your feelings, your entire mental state actively and unerringly shapes the world without, your external reality, that mirroring effect.
Yeah. We explored how your subconscious mind isn't just a passive storage unit, but a powerful, limitless resource, a tireless inner worker constantly operating on your behalf even when you sleep.
Right, that hidden 90%. And we learned about the solar plexus, your body's vital energy center, and how your conscious thoughts and emotions directly impact its radiation, influencing everything from your physical health to your ability to attract desired conditions. It's a remarkable connection that truly integrates the mind and body in a profound, practical way.
We then explore the fundamental principle that thought itself is creative energy, operating through the immutable law of attraction. This isn't just a feel-good concept. Haanel explains it as a precise scientific law of vibration.
Right, where thought, combined with the vital force of emotion, which he specifically calls love, becomes an irresistible force that shapes your circumstances. Thought plus love equals attraction.
And how do you put that force to work? Through deliberate imagination and visualization. These become the very blueprints for your reality,
allowing you to mentally construct what you desire with absolute clarity before it can appear in the objective world. Nikola Tesla's astonishing experiences served as such a powerful, real-world example of this principle in action, demonstrating its immense practical utility.
We also uncovered the true power of concentration, not as some kind of strenuous effort, but as that deep, effortless absorption that leads to intuitive breakthroughs, getting lost in the thought.
And we delved into the profound insights and access to higher intelligence found in the silence, that essential state of inner repose and stillness, which Haanel identifies as the ultimate source of all power, connecting within.
Most importantly, perhaps, we touched on the spiritual I, your true, perfect, unchanging self, and how recognizing this inherent divinity, coupled with the paramount principle of service to others,
giving value first,
not only unlocks material abundance, but also enables you to overcome any limitation or undesired condition in your life. We saw how this system offers practical ways to substitute negative thoughts with empowering ones, thereby transforming your physical and mental landscape.
Literally changing your tissue, as he put it, and your experience of the world.
Haanel reiterates throughout his work that this system differs from every other course of study because it teaches that the only possible value which can attach to any principle is in its application. It's all about doing it.
Not just theory, it's presented as a demonstrable truth that promises to make you truly free, not only free from every lack and limitation, but free from sorrow, worry, and care. A holistic liberation.
He emphasizes its universal applicability too, doesn't he? It makes no difference what your habit of thought may be, the way has been prepared.
Right. Whether your bias is religious, scientific, or philosophical, the underlying principles of conscious creation, he asserts, remain constant and effective for anyone willing to apply them.
So you, our listener, are now armed with a powerful understanding of how thought creates your reality and maybe some ideas on how to harness this immense internal power.
It's a lot to take in, but incredibly empowering.
It is. So for your provocative thought for the week, consider this timeless wisdom. Look well, therefore, to this day. The power as Haanel so meticulously reveals, is not in the distant future or the unchangeable past. It is here, now, within you in this present moment.
The power is always now.
Knowing that thought is the property of those only who can entertain it, and that the master key teaches right principles and suggests methods for making a practical application, what is the very first deliberate constructive thought you will entertain and then act upon to begin shaping the hitherto undreamed of results in your own life? The choice, as always, is profoundly yours.